Imagine that you are a sturdy stone house. With each passing year, your walls begin to crumble unnoticed, stone by stone, without any noise or alarm. At first, a small crack appears, then another. You walk across the floor and feel it slightly sagging under your feet, though it seems insignificant. In reality, this is a warning sign. The foundation has weakened. Muscles disappear the same way after 60 years, slowly, without loud signs or sudden changes. This process is like erasing with a rubber. Muscles gradually vanish. At first, you move less, then it becomes harder to stand up until you start stumbling. All this is not aging, but hidden muscle degradation that is not spoken about openly. It is sad because the process can be prevented and stopped. The scariest part is that almost all elderly people, even active ones with good appetites, do not get the key nutritional element for muscle recovery. A simple and inexpensive product capable of slowing this degradation remains unnoticed and undervalued in the daily diet of many. Today I will explain why, even with healthy eating, muscles are not always protected, and which product stands at the forefront of your strength after 70. Furthermore, in one of the sections I will talk about what many doctors often overlook, but what can actually change the situation, change everything. First, the secret destroyer of strength in the human body. Everything is interconnected, and what seems like aging is actually the result of invisible processes inside us. One of such processes is hidden inflammation. It does not cause fever or pain like a cold, but it can last for years, destroying the body from within. This type of inflammation is recognized by doctors as one of the main causes of accelerated muscle loss after 60 years. It is not visible to the naked eye, but it destroys cells. Cells are destroyed faster than they can recover. The worst part is that the inflammation is caused not by injuries or infections, but by lifestyle, diet, and lack of nutrients. The second is omega-3 as an anti-inflammatory agent. Foods that can extinguish the internal fire and create conditions for muscle recovery are especially important. Omega-3 fatty acids are natural anti-inflammatory agents. They protect joints and the heart and also participate in muscle metabolism. These acids help cells respond to growth signals, improve sensitivity to amino acids, and reduce cortisol levels, a hormone that destroys muscles. The third is sources of omega-3. They can be found in fatty fish, salmon, mackerel, sardines, and herring. It is important that the fish is cooked properly, baked or steamed, not fried, to preserve its beneficial properties. It is recommended to regularly consume fish at least twice a week, with a full portion rather than a small piece for health benefits. If you do not like fish, it can be replaced with high-quality fish oil without artificial additives and with guaranteed purification, taken systematically. Fish oil supports the health of muscles and blood vessels by providing the necessary nutrients for their proper functioning and recovery. Studies show that elderly people who regularly take omega-3 have a higher rate of muscle protein synthesis even without physical activity. Omega-3 is beneficial not only for the heart and brain, but also for maintaining muscle strength with age, especially when combined with minimal physical activity. When omega-3 is combined with minimal physical activity, the effect increases exponentially, allowing strength recovery without a gym. Omega-3 is not just a trendy supplement, but an important building block that helps muscles recover, working quietly in the background. Take a step towards strengthening the body's internal reserves by adding the right fish to your table and providing muscles with necessary nutrition. A very important aspect is that muscles are lost even during sleep. Although it seems strange, this process happens precisely at night. At night, when the body rests and does not receive food, a conservation mode is activated. When nutrients are lacking, the body begins to take amino acids from muscles, especially after 60 years of age. In mature age, metabolism slows down and digestion becomes less efficient. Several hours without food at night can destroy muscle mass, unlike in youth. This happens every day unnoticed. While a person sleeps, muscles dissolve under the blanket. Even good nutrition during the day does not compensate for the nighttime loss of muscle mass. Fortunately, there is a product, a night guardian for muscles. It slowly breaks down muscles, nourishing tissues throughout several hours of sleep. This product is cottage cheese, rich in casein, a slow-digesting protein. Casein provides a steady flow of amino acids into the bloodstream during sleep. Casein is the ideal protein for the night. It does not cause sugar spikes or burden the stomach, but effectively nourishes the muscles. In several studies, casein was compared to sports protein supplements. It is accessible to everyone, not capsules or powder, but a plate of cottage cheese before bed. Cottage cheese can be eaten plain or with a spoonful of flax seeds to enhance its benefits. This is a simple way to keep muscles healthy at night. To balance fats and gain additional heart benefits, add a little cinnamon or berries. It's important not to use sugar or jam to avoid an insulin spike. We need a recovery effect, not a sharp insulin spike. Studies show that elderly people who consume cottage cheese at night maintain stable muscle mass. This is especially important for those who move little due to joint, heart problems, or fatigue. Nighttime protein gives the body tools for recovery. At night, the most important healing processes occur, including tissue regeneration and growth. Without building materials, the body will start breaking down old tissue to create new. Your task is to prevent muscle breakdown. The habit of eating 1.5 plates of cottage cheese before bed is like a protective shield for muscles. Let your body work for you even while you sleep. Muscles rest and do not break down thanks to proper nighttime nutrition. The trigger mechanism, without which muscles stay silent, is the signal for the body to start building muscles. You can eat chicken, fish, cottage cheese, and protein. But all this will pass by and will not turn into benefit or fat if the body does not receive a specific signal for muscle growth. The body will not start building muscles until someone says, "Hey, it's time to work." This signal is an important key to muscle growth. Only after receiving the signal will muscles begin to grow and recover, and without it, nutrients will be wasted. This means that not only food is important, but also the stimulus for the body that triggers the process of muscle recovery and growth. In the end, to maintain muscles and health, you need to combine proper nutrition with physical activity and nighttime recovery. It's time to start restoring muscles. Without the leucine signal, growth will not start, even if amino acids are present everywhere in the blood. Leucine is the muscle growth start button. If leucine is not activated, proteins just move through the body without benefit. In youth, growth starts even with a small amount, but after 60 years, a larger dose is needed. Where is the most leucine? Not in expensive supplements, but in ordinary eggs. More precisely, in 2 whole eggs, including the yolk, which contains important fat-soluble vitamins. Eggs give the body an important boost for recovery because they contain an almost perfect balance of amino acids. Their protein is absorbed better than meat or fish protein. The main thing is not only protein absorption, but also that eggs give the body a clear signal. It's time to build muscles. Everything eaten before will start working. People often ask about cholesterol. It is a myth that 2 eggs a day are harmful. Numerous studies show that moderate consumption does not raise bad cholesterol in healthy people. Moreover, eggs have a positive effect on health, supporting balance and promoting the body's recovery. This is especially important for muscles as we age. If you have no appetite for breakfast, eat an egg at lunch or add boiled eggs to a salad. You can make an omelet with vegetables. That's 2 hits against weakness, protein and fiber. The main thing is regularity, not a one-time action. An interesting fact, participants over 60 were given the same amount of protein, but one group received more leucine. The group with more leucine increased muscle mass. It's not about quantity, but about protein quality. Leucine not only nourishes, but also triggers a chain reaction that the body continues on its own. If you eat enough protein but your strength doesn't grow, perhaps this start button is missing. This button is in your kitchen, inside the simple shell of an egg. A green streak on the plate, a thin, green, almost ephemeral leaf. This is spinach. Some do not appreciate spinach, others consider it rabbit food, and some confuse it with parsley. But for the aging body, spinach is not a garnish, but a tool and enhancer. It is not a source of protein nor a substitute for meat, but a fertilizer for muscles, if you will. Its task is not to build muscles, but to provide everything necessary for the process. Muscle fibers are not just protein threads, but electrical machines that contract, expend energy, breathe, and transmit signals in the human body. Spinach is rich in magnesium, an element that regulates the function of muscle cells. Without magnesium, contractions occur in vain. Signals from the brain are delayed, causing cramps and tremors in the legs. Night cramps and muscle spasms increase with age, but the cause is not always aging, but a deficiency of minerals such as magnesium and potassium. Besides magnesium, spinach contains nitrates, which previously caused concern, but it is now proven that they dilate blood vessels and accelerate blood circulation. Thanks to nitrates, the body delivers oxygen to cells quickly and precisely, like express mail, improving nutrition and overall muscle function. Potassium is important for muscle strength, but it is lost by people taking diuretics, especially nearly half of those over 60 years old. A lack of potassium reduces strength, makes it difficult to raise the arm and bear weight on the legs, causing muscle weakness. Greens come to the rescue. Humble spinach without odor, but with a clear effect on muscles and overall body condition. Spinach does not require a prescription and is easy to add to food, into an omelet in 5 seconds, into soup at the last minute, or in a cheese sandwich. You can blend spinach with apple, banana, and water. The main thing is to consume it regularly and without overdoing it. A handful of spinach a day is enough for benefit, a simple and accessible way to support muscles and health at any age. The main thing to remember is that spinach is needed not for taste, but for the body's function. Its absence with age is felt more strongly than the absence of dessert or sweets. Spinach has no magical properties, only minerals, vitamins, and nitrates that stabilize the body. It is not an energy boost, but a system calibration, like oil in an old mechanism. You add spinach and the body starts working smoothly, like a machine after lubrication. This is muscle recovery in a cup, supporting the body after exertion and stress. One day you look at a pot and see a modest, slightly cloudy liquid with a thin layer of fat on top. That's broth. It looks simple, almost homemade. But if you knew what this broth hides, you would see it differently. It's not just soup, but a concentrated essence of bones, cartilage, tendons, and veins. Modern food has long forgotten these substances, but the body still remembers them, especially after 40, when the body stops producing collagen, glycine, and proline. These substances may seem boring, but they are exactly what determine whether your knee hurts, how easily you get up from the couch, whether you want to move, or if everything starts to break and crack. Collagen, glycine, and proline affect not only the joints, but also the elasticity of muscles, ligaments, recovery after training, and the strength of connective tissues. Modern food is soft, refined, and sterile, but muscles need tougher and richer support for health and recovery. It is important to understand that nutrition is not just about enjoying taste, but about caring for the body, especially with age, to maintain mobility and strength. The thick base of bone broth is an old good potion without enhancers, just bones, water, fire, and 8 hours of slow simmering. Drinking such broth means giving the body what it has long lacked, especially with joint cracking and back pain after sleep. In such cases, broth is support at the tissue level, not just food. Its effect cannot be replaced by a supermarket cube. A quickly boiled broth in 15 minutes will not give the desired result. Only slow, concentrated simmering creates real benefits. Broth can be drunk like tea, used for soups, or frozen in molds and added regularly to vegetable dishes. The main thing is to make consuming broth a habit, not a rare nostalgic memory of home cooking and care. Broth does not contain protein in the traditional sense, but it has the materials from which the body builds everything else. It is not a source of energy in the usual sense, but the basis of energy. An invisible, warm, fatty-edged, vital product. Every cup is a micro-repair for the body without flashy promises, but with a result felt after a couple of weeks. Less crunch in the joints, more flexibility, and the feeling that the body has become lighter and more mobile after regular broth consumption. The mechanism falls apart, but the system remains assembled and coordinated. Lentils are not just food for the poor, but an important nutritional component often forgotten. When was the last time you ate lentils? Did you perceive it as an important source for muscles, not just as a meat substitute? Most often it is forgotten. This is a mistake, because lentils are not just a side dish, but a powerful weapon for the body, especially after 60, when the body requires stable nutrition without whims. Let's start with protein. Lentils are a plant-based protein with an amino acid profile that many nutritionists rate on par with animal proteins. It lacks leucine, an amino acid found in eggs, but contains a complex that provides a steady contribution, a constant flow of amino acids necessary for the aging body. Fiber in lentils affects everything: blood sugar levels and protein absorption. Without fiber, food passes quickly. With it, it nourishes and sustains energy levels. Mood stabilizes, appetite is controlled, and the gut is grateful. A healthy gut is the key to better protein absorption and overall health. Iron is one of the common causes of muscle weakness in the elderly. Lentils contain iron, helping to combat deficiency and support muscles. Iron from lentils is absorbed gently, without burdening the stomach, especially when paired with vitamin C, such as tomatoes or lemon juice. This reduces shortness of breath and increases endurance. Lentils do not cause heaviness and do not require long cooking. Just add water, and in 20 minutes you have a base for soup, ragu, or even meatballs. This product is filling but not fatty. It can be eaten both in the morning and in the evening. It is versatile, does not require refrigeration, spices, and does not spoil. Lentils work effectively. While you spend money on dubious supplements, it sits on the supermarket shelf for a few coins waiting for its moment. It's funny and a bit sad that strength is often hidden in the simplest things. Lentils are not heated in the microwave and are not served in a plastic cup. It's enough to just take lentils, rinse them, cook, and add to your diet. In a week, you'll feel the difference. Strength won't return in one day, but stability will come quickly. Muscles love lentils not for the taste, but for what they do. Quietly, without showiness, as it should be. Camouflage with milky strength. Lentils hide in the fridge between jam and ketchup. They are there quietly, ready to support your strength every day. No one worries about Greek yogurt. Some eat it as a snack, others drink it for their stomach. Almost no one knows that it supports muscles in old age. We are talking about thick, pure yogurt without sugar and flavorings, modest in appearance but inside a real source of protein, concentrated and nutritious. Yogurt contains a high dose of whey protein, which starts working almost immediately, 20 minutes after consumption, not after 2 hours. For tired muscles, this is first aid, especially if you haven't eaten for a long time. But this is only the first part of yogurt's benefit for the body. The most interesting thing inside yogurt is millions of beneficial bacteria, probiotics. It sounds boring, but they affect protein absorption and digestion. Probiotics regulate how the body absorbs food and distributes energy. A disrupted microbiome can nullify even the best diet. A healthy gut allows simple food to work effectively. Many elderly suffer from bloating, poor appetite, and unstable stools. They don't associate problems with muscles, but there is a connection. If the gut doesn't work, proteins are not absorbed and the muscles remain hungry. Yogurt gently restores this chain without medicines or side effects, helping the body absorb proteins and maintain muscles. It is a simple and effective product for muscle and digestive health, especially important in old age. One important advantage of Greek yogurt is calcium. It contains a lot of it, and calcium is necessary not only for bones, but also for muscle contractions. Without calcium, muscles start to malfunction, respond slowly, tire faster, and become sluggish. Calcium from food is absorbed better than from pills. Yogurt is an instant action product. You can eat it right away without cooking or washing dishes, which is convenient and saves time at any time of day. Yogurt can be included in the diet in the morning with nuts, as a snack with cinnamon, before bed with a spoonful of honey, or just as is. This convenience with benefits, packed into one jar. Unlike trendy supplements, yogurt doesn't promise quick results but works steadily every day. It won't replace everything but will give the body a boost, especially if it is already depleted. It will feed the muscles, improve digestion, and stabilize blood sugar levels. All this happens without a single gram of sugar. Greek yogurt is camouflage. It seems simple, but acts precisely and effectively. Many do not notice its significance and then wonder why some age slowly, while others quickly lose their health in just a few years. Aging does not make us weak. Weakness begins when we stop giving the body what it needs to maintain strength and health. The gym is not just about workouts, but also simple, functional foods that create the internal foundation of health. No pretension or unnecessary noise, just a system. You can be strong at 60 and 80, not thanks to motivation, but thanks to a thoughtful system that supports the body every day. Muscles are not about a beautiful shape. They are about function, standing up, maintaining balance, not fearing your own weight, and feeling confident. Such function requires daily, real nutrition. You don't lose as long as you feed your muscles properly and regularly. Every sip, every spoonful is not just food, but a decision to be in your body, not in bed. To walk, not sit. To live, not just survive. In this video, you received 7 nutrition allies. Each is part of the overall scheme that helps you become stronger and healthier. You don't need to eat them all at once. Choose at least one ally and start with it. Your body will hear you and respond in kind. Your body will become your partner, not your enemy. Subscribe if you want to continue feeding not just your stomach, but your strength. See you. Stay strong every day by supporting yourself with a system that works for you, not against you.